Guys, watching Asuka and Ember Moon reminds me of the arrogance Asuka is capable of displaying. She played many games and possibly underestimated Ember Moon.
You can't argue that Ember Moon has been close to solving the Asuka puzzle. Shortcuts had to be taken by Asuka to avoid falling victim to Ember Moon's eclipse.
Guys, I have a feeling this is the type of match we'll go back and look at 3 or 4 times over the course of next week.
Byron, you called it Asuka taking shortcuts. I call it defending your ground. Ember Moon thought that Asuka's days were setting on the horizon and a new moon was rising, but Asuka rerouted Ember's warpath.
The moon never shines brighter than the sun, and the sun is Asuka.
Look at this. Boom. Nice. If you ask a member of the WWE Universe about the 4 horsewomen, they'll likely refer to the quartet of Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. However, there's another group that lays claim to that moniker, and it includes Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, both groups actually met face-to-face at the Mae Young Classic. Ronda Rousey, Jessamyn Duke, and Marina Shafir were there to root on Shayna Baszler, and they met with WWE's group. Rousey told them, quote, "You name the time, you name the place."
The two of you brought up the collision between WWE's and MMA's 4 horsewomen, courtesy of Shayna Baszler. In the time since that showdown, Ronda Rousey has joined WWE, while the other 2 MMA horsewomen have begun NXT training. Guys, that showdown looms ever closer.
I, for one, cannot wait. Not only because we'll see some of the best MMA and WWE competitors meet in the ring, but I'd love to see Baszler put Sasha Banks in the Kirifuda clutch and make the boss quit.
Something that is always important in a 6-man match is having the ability to perform double-team moves. One of the things that successful 6-man teams try and execute are double-team moves, and then have the 3rd team member perform a signature or finishing maneuver to deliver maximum impact to an opponent.
Lita in a defensive mode now.
And the confidence she came into this 6 women's tag team match seems to be fading a bit.
Teamwork is always paramount in a 6-man tag match. Superstars want to be able to have a level of teamwork where 2 members of the trio perform a double team move, and the 3rd member follows that up with a move so their opponent is really down for the count.
The key is to deliver the maximum amount of punishment to your opponent in the least amount of time. You have until the referee's count of 5. It's not like you have all day in the ring, but if your team of 3 can deliver that type of offense, your trio will be in good shape.
She lands the strike. Shayna Baszler is no stranger to championships, having amassed titles in independent promotions and in MMA. However, the biggest jewel on the Queen of Spades crown was earned at NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
Michael, on that night, Baszler was determined to right one of the few wrongs in her NXT career. The first time Ember Moon met the submission magician, Ember escaped with a roll-up pinfall. Baszler did not suffer that same fate again as she made Moon pass out in the Kirifuda clutch and left as NXT Women's Champion.
Going back to that night that Shayna Baszler became NXT Women's Champion, I think it's pretty telling that Ember Moon didn't ask for a rematch. Ember Moon, a woman who embraces a...
Baszler rammed her own dislocated shoulder into the ring post that night. Baszler wasn't a magician that night, she was a maniac.
Watching Ember Moon the past few years, Corey, one thing I've learned is that her drive to succeed may be unmatched.
I don't disagree, Cole. It's that drive that makes her so hard to defeat and nearly impossible to game plan for. How do you prepare for a woman who refuses to lose?
certainly liked the results from the first time she delivered that move.
Look at her go.
As Corey mentioned, preparing for Ember is not easy, especially given that she has no quit in her. But that said, Byron, perhaps replicating what Shayna Baszler did to Ember at TakeOver New Orleans would be a good approach.
Well, as vicious as it may sound, if Ember refuses to quit, you might have no other choice than to render her unconscious, much like Shayna did.
Asuka turns it around.
Kay in her first ever match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2.
I'd have agreed with what Byron was saying about Ember Moon's debut. She made her presence felt on day one and never looked back, beating some pretty big names in the process.
Yeah, anytime you could say you defeated the likes of Shayna Baszler and Ruby Riott, you know you're legit.
Watching Ember Moon the past few years, Corey, one thing I've learned is that her drive to succeed may be unmatched.
I don't disagree, Cole. It's that drive that makes her so hard to defeat and nearly impossible to game plan for. How do you prepare for a woman who refuses to lose?
Well, that jump came out of nowhere. She's starting to sweat a bit. She's got two very capable partners in her corner. Now might be a good time to bring one of them in. As Corey mentioned, preparing for Ember is not easy, especially given that she has no quit in her. But that said, Byron, perhaps replicating what Shayna Baszler did to Ember at TakeOver New Orleans would be a good approach.
Well, as vicious as it may sound, if Ember refuses to quit, you might have no other choice than to render her unconscious, much like Shayna did.
If you ask a member of the WWE Universe about the Four Horsewomen, they'll likely refer to the quartet of Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. However, there's another group that lays claim to that moniker, and it includes Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, both groups actually met face-to-face at the Mae Young Classic. Ronda Rousey, Jessamyn Duke, and Marina Shafir were there to root on Shayna Baszler, and they met with WWE's group. Rousey told them, quote, "You name the time, you name the place."
The two of you brought up the collision between WWE's and MMA's Four Horsewomen, courtesy of Shayna Baszler. In the time since that showdown, Ronda Rousey has joined WWE, while the other two MMA horsewomen have begun NXT training. Guys, that showdown looms ever closer.
I, for one, cannot wait. Not only because we'll see some of the best MMA and WWE competitors meet in the ring, but I'd love to see Baszler put Sasha Banks in the Kirifuda clutch and make the boss quit.
You can see the confidence just beaming from her right now.
Thanks to Raw General Manager Kurt Angle, in May of 2017, the WWE Universe saw a dream team come together when the Hardy Boys joined forces with the Lunatic Fringe Dean Ambrose. The exciting trio took on Sheamus, Cesaro, and The Miz. Truth be told, both Miz and Ambrose blended in with their impromptu tag team partners pretty well.
Six-man match where Dean Ambrose teamed with the Hardys against Sheamus, Cesaro, and The Miz. Both teams worked very well together. That suppose fitting perfectly with the Daredevil Hardy Boys.
I've got to say, I had goosebumps for a week after the Hardy Boys returned to WWE at 2017's WrestleMania. During that six-man on Raw, Team Extreme formed an effective trio with that lunatic Dean Ambrose. After a twist of fate from Matt Hardy, Jeff crushed The Miz with a swanton bomb, and that was all she wrote.
Carmella with a nice reversal. She got her with the drop kick. Carmella. Boom! Kick! Man!
You gotta like her chances, man.
And a pin attempt. And she kicks out at two.
She got the shoulder up. That's all that counts.
Tag is made.
What's gonna happen here? Teamwork at its best.
She shows signs of life.
She's showing a lot more than that.
And she goes down hard.
That'll leave a mark.
She's going for the knee now.
Six-man tag team matches have been a staple of competition since the early days of sports entertainment. Two teams of three compete against one another under traditional tag team rules. Stipulations can be added like no disqualification, 2 out of 3 falls, elimination, falls count anywhere, or whatever else someone could think of. Matches can also be held in a caged environment.
Takes her off her feet with a tackle. 6-man tags can be fought under so many different types of stipulations. Teams can be part of a faction, where 3 superstars have aligned because of a common interest. The most crucial aspect to a 6-man tag team being successful is that trio's ability to act as one cohesive unit, 3 individuals working collectively at all times.
So much can take place during a 6-man tag match. Regardless of what type of match the teams of 3 are competing in, the members of that team must be on the same page. Oftentimes, the teams who have the best continuity are the most successful.
Both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a 6-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the...
Her boot hits the mark.
Man, she knows how to make a comeback. All that's left now is for Billie Kay to finish it.
Shoulders on the mat. And the count's broken, keeping the match alive. She delivers a lethal forearm. Oh, look at the... Oh, man, that hurts. Shayna Baszler is no stranger to championships, having amassed titles in independent promotions and in MMA. However, the biggest jewel on the Queen of Spades crown was earned at NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
Michael, on that night, Baszler was determined to right one of the few wrongs in her NXT career. The first time Ember Moon met the submission magician, Ember escaped with a roll-up pinfall. Baszler did not suffer that same fate again as she made Moon pass out in the Kirifuda clutch and left as NXT Women's Champion.
Going back to that night that Shayna Baszler became NXT Women's Champion, I think it's pretty telling that Ember Moon didn't ask for a rematch. Ember Moon, a woman who embraces a gothic lifestyle, was scared to fight the submission magician again.
Oh, who wouldn't be scared after...
Here she comes on the counter.
We'll see if she can turn things around.
Lita looking to get to the top rope.
Look at this!
Did you hear that? A superstar is always in a high-profile match when they main event a Monday Night Raw. A spot Lita once found herself in when she clashed with Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship.
In her home state of North Carolina, Lita threw caution to the wind as she put her body at risk, all because that night was about to be more than championship gold.
You guys bring up Lita and Trish's Women's Championship match. It isn't lost on anybody that that was the first time women were given the spotlight to have a match end Monday Night Raw. It was uncharted territory.
The Lita-Trish rivalry had reached a fever pitch, and the two weren't given that main event spot. They earned that main event spot.
Snapmare. That's what she needed.
Oh man, she's rolling now.
Tag is made.
What's going to happen here?
That's a great example of teamwork right there.
When she gets in attack mode, look out.
Second time we're seeing this here. She goes down hard.
She's going to be feeling that one for a while.
Oh, what a shot.
Yeah, she doesn't want to take too many more of those.
She is on fire.
And Lita reverses it.
There's the inside cradle
To the ropes, and the ref sees it.
Lita looking for something big. Twist of fate.
She's got it now.
Here's the cover for the win. Shayna Baszler, no problem getting out.
Gonna take more than that.
When you talk about great rookie years, Shayna Baszler's first year in NXT has to be in the conversation. She got more done in 3 months than most competitors do in 3 years.
Up and over with a suplex. It might only be heart keeping Shayna Baszler in this match.
This six-man match may have taken it all out of her.
Michael mentioned Shayna Baszler's first year in NXT. Consider the fact that her first match was in January of 2018. By the end of the month, she was competing at NXT TakeOver. By April 2018, she was NXT Women's Champion.
And guys, the time between her debut and winning the championship was just 88 days. She ascended to the top of her division in record time, fellas. Faster than other amazing rookies like Sheamus, Yokozuna, even Brock Lesnar.
Oh, going for the double play with this move.
I think this is the beginning of the end.
This may very well be it. She got the shoulder up in time.
Not yet.
Avoids trouble there.
Massive atomic drop.
Wow, what a sequence.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Look at this. Uh-oh.
Carmella has
Super kick.
Good night.
That's how you put an exclamation point on the end of a match, guys.
And there's the breakup, just in the nick of time.
both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a six-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the action. Both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a six-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the action.
She's able to get out of the way there.
I don't know how much more damage one person could take. I don't care how tough you are.
And Shayna Baszler evades that one. Shayna Baszler making her move. This might be it. Oh, my.
Now, she just needs to finish her off. All that's left now for Shayna Baszler is
She goes for the cover. One. The pin's broken up.
I can't believe it.
A minor miracle might be needed to overcome this beating.
Super kick! Oh, and she drops hard.
Things are looking pretty good for her now.
She lands an enormous elbow.
Look at her go.
Ember Moon is getting...
Wow, fantastic ability from Ember Moon. And she looked like she had no chance.
And this has gotta be it! Two!
Barely at 2.5.
Wow, there's a perfect example why they call her the Empress. A heart the size of an empire.
She reverses out of it.
And not a second too soon. Close call there.
I can't believe this one's still going on, especially after the beating that's been delivered tonight. Concentrating on the knee here. Looks like she wants to beat her inside the ring.
Got the leg hooked.
Yup.
I really can't believe what's gone down so far. This match has been even more physical than I thought it would be. I guess she feels there's something to be said for going back to something that worked before. Shayna Baszler making her move. Baszler, this might be it.
That's all she wrote, fellas. All that's left now for Shayna Baszler is to finish this.
Oh, man, she's rolling now.
That should do it right there. 1, 2, 3.
Has been eliminated.
Taken off her feet now.
And you're not going to win many matches down there. I can tell you that.
And she hits the drop kick. Down she goes.
And she might just stay down there this time.
I think she's trying to prove a point here.
These 6 superstars have really shown me something here tonight, guys. What a match.
She goes for a ride.
Taking on any more damage here could very well mean the beginning of the end.
Ah, look, Billie Kay's in position. Punches her. It's obvious Billie Kay is feeling the pain that has been dealt out so far.
She may very well have reached the point of no return.
This could be the end of the road for her here, guys.
What a maneuver by Carmella.
This one's over, guys.
As Carmella makes a cover. Kick out at 2. Whoa, that may have been a slow count.
She's still in this one.
Things are not looking very good right now. Gonna have to find a way to regroup.
Oh, uncorked a big punch.
She slams her down with great force. There may be no coming back from this incredible beatdown.
When you talk about great rookie years, Shayna Baszler's first year in NXT has to be in the conversation. She got more done in 3 months than most competitors do in 3 years.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, how the heck do you get up from that?
The leg drop. It's all over but the crying.
When a superstar is in a six-man match, one of the most important things to remember is knowing when to tag out and get the fresh member of your team in the ring. We've talked about continuity many times on this program, but it's more than that. You don't want to try to do too much when you have other members of your team out there.
What a nasty knee.
Oh, man, right to the arm.
Hyperextend your elbow.
Uh-oh. This isn't going to be pretty.
Oh, what incredible power.
Wow, what a vertical suplex.
Quick punch.
Gals, Carmella may be in a bad way here.
And the confidence she came into this 6 women's tag team match seems to be fading a bit.
There are times during a 6-man tag match where the hostility between two teams overflows. The result is complete chaos, and all 6 superstars duke it out inside, and many times outside the ring. It's complete and total chaos. But if you're one of the legal competitors in the ring during that time, you must return to the ring before the referee's 10 count or risk being counted out and lose the match for your team.
Shayna Baszler is probably the biggest bully in all of WWE. She's tough, but her intimidation factor can defeat an opponent before the match even starts. Corey, how should a competitor approach Baszler?
Everyone who's seen even a modest amount of success against Baszler has done so by kind of building a weird immunity to her mind games. Ember Moon lives in the darkness. Kairi Sane thinks she's a pirate. And Nikki Cross, well, she's Nikki Cross.
And she slams her back down. With the point of the elbow.
She's on the defensive now. She's got 2 very capable partners in her corner. Now might be a good time to bring one of them in.
How she responds to this is going to be very important moving forward. She simply cannot let it take her out of her game plan.
And she goes down hard.
That'll leave a mark.
This is her time to shine.
We're looking at complete domination here. Looks like she wants to beat her inside the ring.
Ah, look, Billy Kay's in position.
Boom. Northern Lights driver. Perfectly executed.
She's clearly not getting paid by the hour. And the kick out.
She's still in this one.
She is on fire.
Ah, look, and the big boot connects.
That could be a game changer.
She goes for the quick pin. Pin broken up easily.
Just needs to do more damage.
That's how you wear down your opponent.
Good night.
Good grief.
Oh, no, this isn't going to end well.
Oh, my gosh. Surfboard leg breaker. Look at her go. And Ember Moon, too quick. When it comes to Ember Moon, one thing's for certain, guys. She made an instant impact, handily beating Billie Kay in her first ever match at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. And Ember Moon, too quick.
She drops her with a clothesline.
What does Carmella have to do to regain her composure? She's got two partners in her corner itching to get in there, guys.
This woman has absolutely no quit in her, guys. Taking on a little offense like this isn't going to end her night, I can assure you of that.
Well, she really can't afford to take on too much more damage and still be able to execute effectively in there.
Looks like she wants to beat her inside the ring.
Oh, no, this isn't going to end well.
Here we go again. Don't let Asuka's smile fool you. She's always looking for a knockout kick.
As beautiful as it is, Cole, that is one of the most terrifying smiles you will ever see in your life. Absolutely hypnotic. It'll buckle your knees if you know what's coming next.
She dodges that one. Uh-oh, flashback! She clearly liked the results from the first time she delivered that move.
Something that doesn't get recognized enough with Asuka is that every week gets more difficult because she's getting everybody's best shot. Everybody's trying to create a career-defining moment. They all want to be the one that adds a loss to a stellar record. And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
I guess she feels there's something to be said for going back to something that worked before.
And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
The Empress of Tomorrow wanted to begin her WWE career at NXT because that's where women's wrestling is being revolutionized, and she wanted in.
With all due respect to NXT and the rise of that group of superstars, when Asuka made the jump to the main roster, the lights became brighter and the competition more fierce. And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
And she got her with a clothesline. Shayna Baszler is no stranger to championships, having amassed titles in independent promotions and in MMA. However, the biggest jewel on the Queen of Spades crown was earned at NXT TakeOver New Orleans.
Michael, on that night, Baszler was determined to right one of the few wrongs in her NXT career. The first time Ember Moon
is getting ready.
Wow, fantastic ability from Ember Moon. Wow, what a move.
Oh, man, Billie Kay doesn't even know where...
The shoulders are down. She got the shoulder up in time.
She's still in this one.
Going to the top, high risk.
She's got that gleam in her eyes. Ember Moon is getting ready. Eclipse!
I bet you feel foolish riding her off now.
Byron, one thing we learned very early on about Ember Moon is that she can overcome any adversity thrown her way.
Yeah, I think she proved that most in 2017 when she was sidelined for several weeks due to a shoulder injury, but eventually returned to capture the NXT Women's Championship later that same year.
She clearly liked the results from the first time she delivered that move.
This isn't going to be good.
Inverted DDT!
And Ember Moon, too quick.
Oh, talk about getting flattened.
Yeah, she's going to be feeling that one for a while.
Forearm to the face!
Oh, nothing fancy about that.
Asuka's looking beaten down, guys.
This could spell the beginning to the end for her here in this six-man tag team match.
Well, to be honest, she's looked overmatched for the majority of this match.
In 2016, the New Day found themselves in the middle of a sick and twisted rivalry with the Wyatt family. Things escalated to the point where Bray Wyatt invited the New Day to do battle at the Wyatt family compound. New Day accepted, but what followed was something no one expected or will ever be able to forget.
Incoming!
Bringing it back into the ring.
I really can't believe what's gone down so far. This match has been even more physical than I thought it would be.
Both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a six-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the action.
She's got her in her sights. Ember Moon is getting ready.
You have to think that's it. Wow, she's fought her way all the way back here.
And here's a cover. Oh, how resilient was that?
What a match!
Both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a six-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the action. Not looking good for her right now. She really needs to think about making a tag, guys.
Given what she's been through in this match, she may very well be...
She's got her now.
That's how you put an exclamation point on a match.
Got the shoulders down. 1, 2. And there's a kick out at 2.
She's still in this one.
I guess she feels there's something to be said for going back to something that worked before. It might only be heart keeping Shayna Baszler in this match.
This could spell the beginning to the end for her here in this six-man tag team match.
Well, she's definitely not looking good right now, but the truth is, outside of the referee, nobody involved in this match is looking good.
Asuka turns it around.
DDT!
And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
Shayna Baszler, this might be it.
Asuka needs a miracle. You just can't underestimate the effectiveness of a move like that.
And will this be it? 1, 2.
How did she kick out? Wow, there's a perfect example why they call her the Empress, a heart the size of an empire.
Both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a six-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the action.
And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
Using her feet here.
Tying up the legs now.
Oh, looking for the surfboard. Oh, face first.
Good night. There's no denying that all 6 of these superstars brought it here tonight.
Nicely timed by Asuka.
These superstars wearing the wounds right now of what has been an absolutely thrilling matchup.
Showing off her agility yet again. And Ember Moon is fading fast here, guys.
This might just be the end of the road for her here, guys.
You know, when you step into the ring opposite 3 of the most dominant women on the roster today, things like this are bound to happen.
Man, at this point, even the slightest mistake could cost one of these women the match.
Tying up the legs now.
Oh, looking for the surfboard. Oh.
She clearly liked the results from the first time she delivered that move.
She is on fire. Man.
Elbow drop. Look at the look in her eyes. She's in the zone now.
Ember Moon is getting ready.
Wow, fantastic ability from Ember Moon.
Asuka needs a miracle.
Keep your eye on this one.
She's licking her chops. Ember Moon is getting ready. She's taking matters into her own hands.
That might have done it, Cole.
Oh no, I don't like Asuka's chances in this one.
The resolve this woman is showing right now is absolutely unreal.
How? How?
This combo is out of this world, Cole.
Both teams working well here together. That's not always the case in a six-man tag team match. Oftentimes, you'll see personal agendas eat their way into the action.
We've got to be nearing an elimination soon here, guys. And Asuka was able to get out of the way there.
Oh, she comes up with a slam.
And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
I guess she feels there's something to be said for going back to something that worked before. Eludes that one. Oh, drop kick.
Right on the money.
Slams her face down.
She clearly
certainly like the results from the first time she delivered that move. We're looking at complete domination here.
She's got her. Oh, and she attacks the jaw. This doesn't look good for Carmella.
Looking to twist her like a pretzel here. Oh, this is dangerous right here. If Carmella hits, this one's over.
Look at this.
And she comes up short.
If you're going to leave your feet, you got to make sure you're going to land the move.
Asuka turns it around.
From behind. Big time neck breaker. There's no denying that all 6 of these superstars brought it here tonight. Yeah, she's a little bundle of energy right now.
And it's Asuka making a move. Escapes trouble there.
Oh, and a drop kick on the mark. That could give her the momentum she needs.
Oh, yeah. Takes her off her feet. We got to cover. A well-placed kick.
Setting up.
Vertical suplex.
Nice.
Seated running knee strike.
That is going to hurt. And Shayna Baszler evades that one.
Showing some quickness there.
I don't know how much more these superstars can take, guys. You'd have to think something's got to give here soon.
What a hit from Ember Moon.
Oh, man, she's rolling now.
Ember Moon is getting ready.
Wow, fantastic ability from Ember Moon. Now, she just needs to finish her off.
Yeah, few superstars are as acrobatic.
Going all the way up. She's got her where she wants her.
Look out, she could be done.
Carmella wants everyone to know, look out!
And she lands the dive with ease.
Now it's time to capitalize.
Cover here. 1,